Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I just wanted to show you a quick, honest look at where we're at with the garden. We moved into the property about 9 months ago. So what we have today is after about 9 months of working. Our acre was previously neglected for a long time. It was very overgrown, had a lot of invasive species of vines and trees that we've been working to clear, and this is what it looks like now. One of the first things we built when we got to the property were these 10 garden beds. They're each 10 feet long by 3 feet wide and about 2 feet deep. And this is just some of our winter plantings that are still hanging on. And these 3 beds here have ranunculus bulbs planted and waiting for spring. And this one here has anemones planted. Here is our 17-barrel rainwater harvesting system. I don't have a good plan for automated irrigation at this point just because the garden is so big. But we do collect the water, and then I just use a hose to fill up our clay pots, which are also called oyas. Here's an example of one of our oyas. Or normally this would be buried in the garden bed, and then you just take this little green cap off, fill it up with water, and then the pot will slowly release the water just as the plants need it into the garden bed. Here's an example of a clay pot that is buried in the garden bed, and you can see that you just leave the little neck out of the dirt and the rest of it is buried underneath. And this is a very efficient way of watering. The plants only take what they need when they need it. Because it's buried under the ground, the water doesn't evaporate. Here is a nice shot of our garden mascot, Scully the Doodle. Hi, Scully. She doesn't seem too impressed that we're disturbing her sunbathing time. Here is a giant pile of what looks to be a mess. Got some pallets, some cardboard, some old 2x4s that came out of upstairs of our house because we're currently remodeling up there. Here's a few more old garden boxes that I used the first spring, just kind of threw together. And I will repair these and use them. I know they're not the best, but instead of having them tossed into landfill, they can just go ahead and live out their lives here in our garden. And when they're done, they're done. Giant wood chip pile, and actually I've been chipping away at this for about 6 months, and this is the 3rd pile of wood chips we've had just from removing trees. We had 2 loads of wood chips prior to that we've been using to mulch this area. I don't know if we'll continue to mulch this area with all the wood chips once they break down, but again, we had so many invasive weeds and plant species growing in this area that we just decided to smother them out. This lovely mess right here are old decking boards and old fence panels that we are going to deconstruct and turn into more raised garden beds. Okay. This here is a massive pile of brush, sticks, and small logs that we've recovered from clearing our property, a makeshift compost bin, and some wire fencing. I'm not sure what we're going to do with all of this yet. I will use the large sticks and logs to build things like compost bins and trellising. Maybe even some garden beds, depending how sturdy they are. Or they will just stay here to compost down. It may take a long time, but I'm not really going to put the effort into chopping it all up right now. If I get the chance to clean this up, I will, but otherwise it will just stay here until it rots down, which is fine. Now, if you've ever wondered what 20 cubic yards of shredded leaves looks like, here it is. We're fortunate enough that our city will bring this to us and drop it off at the house whenever we sign up for a load. So this will either be composted or used for mulch. There's Scully. She's waiting for our return. Scully, don't look so sad. All right, that's all for today's tour. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.